In a picturesque village named Elysia, nestled between the gentle slopes of rolling hills and the mesmerizing cascade of crystalline waterfalls, lived two souls whose destinies were intricately woven together by the threads of fate. Emma, a young woman radiating an aura of spirited creativity, found her solace and purpose among the vibrant blooms and lush foliage of the village gardens. With every stroke of her brush, she managed to capture the very essence of nature's enchantment on her canvas, breathing life into her art in ways that seemed almost magical. Liam, on the other hand, was a quiet observer of life's symphony. His introspective nature drew him to wander the cobblestone streets and hidden nooks of Elysia, where he would unleash the hauntingly beautiful melodies of his violin. His music was like a whisper carried on the wind, speaking of dreams and memories long forgotten, and resonating deep within the hearts of those who paused to listen. One sun-kissed morning, when the golden hues of dawn kissed the village awake, Emma's attention was captivated by the ethereal notes that seemed to emerge from the very heart of the hills. The melodious strains carried a depth of emotion she had never before encountered, as if the music itself held the key to unlocking the secrets of her own soul. Intrigued and compelled, she followed the sound, her heart echoing each note as if they were meant just for her. As she ventured further, she came upon Liam, a young man with eyes that mirrored the depths of the melody he played. His fingers danced gracefully on the strings of his violin, creating a tapestry of sound that resonated with the very pulse of the village. Mesmerized by his music, Emma approached him with an expression that blended curiosity and admiration, like a painter observing a masterpiece. "Your music. It's like a window to the heart of the world." Emma's voice, soft and melodious like the rustle of leaves in a gentle breeze, reached Liam's ears. Liam's lips curved into a gentle smile, his gaze locking with Emma's in a moment that seemed to suspend time itself. "And your art," he replied, his voice carrying the warmth of a long-forgotten sunbeam. "It breathes life into the world, weaving stories that dance upon the canvas." Their conversation flowed as naturally as a babbling brook, and their souls found resonance in each other's passions. Emma's garden became a haven for their encounters, a place where her vibrant blooms served as an audience to Liam's melodies. The days turned into weeks, and their shared moments bloomed like the flowers in Emma's garden, each petal unfurling a layer of their shared connection. The village, too, took notice of the enchanting bond that had formed between the spirited artist and the introspective musician. Their love story was whispered among the villagers like a cherished secret, a tale that embodied the very essence of Elysia's magic. But as love stories often go, challenges emerged. Liam harbored a dream of sharing his music beyond the hills that cradled Elysia, while Emma grappled with the fear that her artistry would lose its authenticity if exposed to the scrutiny of the wider world. The impending prospect of separation cast a shadow on their love, threatening to dim the brilliance of their shared journey. Yet, it was during one twilight-lit evening, as the moon began its ascent, that Liam's violin weaved a melody tinged with melancholy. Emma, her heart attuned to every note, approached him with tears glistening in her eyes. "Liam, our love is like a symphony, composed of the delicate harmony between your music and my art," she spoke, her voice carrying the weight of 1,000 sunsets. "Let our creations be a testament to our love, even if the world may hear or see them." Liam's eyes shimmered with understanding, a mixture of pain and hope swirling within their depths. And in that moment, they both realized that their love was too powerful to be bound by fear. It was a love that demanded to be shared, a force that could inspire others to find their own harmonies amidst life's cacophony. With newfound courage, Liam decided to embark on a journey beyond Elysia's hills, his heartstrings resonating with every note he played. Emma, too, displayed her vibrant canvases beyond the confines of her garden, her artistry capturing the imagination of those who beheld it. Their creations, though distinct in form, carried an unbreakable thread of connection. Liam's music was the breath that stirred Emma's paintings to life, and her art was the vivid backdrop against which his melodies danced. Their individual talents, once regarded as treasures held close, now merged into a grand tapestry that showcased the depth of their love for all to witness. As word spread of their artistic endeavors and their inspiring journey, their love story transcended the boundaries of Elysia. Their creations found resonance in the hearts of people across distant lands, inspiring them to seek the magic in the everyday and to embrace the kind of love that knows no limits. Years passed, and their love story transformed into a legendary tale, woven into the very fabric of Elysia's history. Visitors from far and wide would journey to the village to witness the garden where Emma and Liam's love blossomed, and the hills that echoed with the haunting strains of their serenades. Their love endured, a melody that reverberated across time, a painting that held the hues of every season. Emma and Liam's tale became a beacon of hope for generations, a reminder that true love was a force that could conquer fears and bridge distances, forever captured in the eternal serenade of their intertwined hearts. On a day that felt like a canvas splashed with the most vivid strokes of a masterful artist, the sun stretched its radiant fingers across the sky, transforming the heavens into a masterpiece of gold and crimson. Elysia awoke to this breathtaking display, as if nature itself had orchestrated a symphony of colors to celebrate the magic woven into the village's very fabric. In this kaleidoscope of hues, Emma found herself tending to her beloved gardens, her hands immersed in the velvety petals of delicate roses and the lush foliage of vibrant ferns. The scents of blooming flowers mingled with the soft rustling of leaves, creating a melody of its own that harmonized with the backdrop of Liam's serenade. It was then that Liam, positioned at a bend in the cobblestone path, began to play his violin. The first notes that emerged from the heart of his instrument were like a call carried on the breeze, beckoning all who heard to pause and listen. As the music took shape, it wove itself into the very tapestry of the sunlit day, a melody that seemed to carry the whispers of secrets long forgotten. Emma's hands stilled, her paintbrush suspended in midair as if enchanted by the ethereal sounds that danced around her. With a heart that beat in rhythm to Liam's melody, she set down her tools and followed the intoxicating notes that seemed to paint invisible strokes upon the air. As she rounded the corner, there he stood, Liam, his eyes closed in a trance-like communion with his violin. His tall form was dappled in the warm glow of the sun, his silhouette casting a gentle shadow upon the cobblestones beneath his feet. The haunting melody flowed through his fingers and into the strings, each note carrying a story untold, an emotion unspoken. Emma's presence, like a gentle breeze, reached Liam's awareness. His eyes, adorned with the shade of introspection, fluttered open, revealing irises that mirrored the skies at dusk. The soft curve of his lips hinted at a smile that held the very essence of the music he played. And then, their gazes met. Emma, with her eyes reflecting a tapestry of curiosity and admiration, was drawn to Liam like a moth to a flame. His music had captivated her not just on a sensory level, but on a soul-deep plane, where the language of melodies and colors converged. Liam's violin lowered, the last strains of the melody hanging in the air like gossamer threads. The silence that followed was a canvas upon which their unspoken connection painted its own story. Emma took a step closer, her footfall gentle like a raindrop on a petal. Her lips parted, but for a moment, words seemed inadequate to convey the depth of the emotion swirling within her. Your music, she finally managed, her voice as delicate as the harmonies that had just graced the air. It's like a river that carries the heart's longing. Liam's gaze held hers, his eyes reflecting a myriad of emotions that danced within him. And your art, he replied, his voice a mellifluous whisper that seemed to echo the song of distant streams. It's as if you've captured the very essence of life's beauty on your canvas. The words hung between them, like dewdrops on a spider's web, delicate and precious. In that shared moment, they were not just Emma, the spirited gardener, and Liam, the introspective musician. They were souls intertwined by the magic of art and the symphony of existence, each a reflection of the other's passions and aspirations. And as the sun continued its majestic descent, painting the sky with ever-deepening shades of gold and crimson, Emma and Liam remained on that cobblestone path, their gazes locked in a communion that needed no words. In the canvas of that moment, their souls had met, and the first strokes of their own love story had been painted upon the canvas of Elysia's enchanting world. Emma's words hung in the air like a fragile melody, a whispered secret shared between two kindred souls. Her voice, as soft and soothing as the rustle of leaves in a gentle breeze, carried with it the weight of a sentiment that had been building within her. The sun, now painting the sky in hues of burnished gold and velvety crimson, seemed to lend its own ethereal glow to her words. Your music. It's like a window to the heart of the world, she spoke, her gaze fixed on Liam as if she were unveiling a hidden treasure. Her voice carried a warmth that mirrored the gentle embrace of sunlight filtering through leaves, and her eyes shone with the soft luminescence of twilight. Liam, his violin resting against his shoulder, caught her words as if they were notes drifting on the wind. His smile, a reflection of the melodies he wove, curved his lips with a grace that seemed to echo the intricate dance of his music. His eyes, those pools of introspection and wonder, met Emma's in a moment that felt as if time itself had granted them a respite from its unrelenting march. In the tender silence that followed, their souls communed in a realm beyond words. The village around them seemed to blur, the vibrant gardens and the winding pathways melting into the background, leaving only the two of them suspended in an intimate bubble of existence. It was as if the universe had conspired to create this moment, a pause in the symphony of life where hearts could harmonize. "And your art," Liam's voice, a rich tapestry woven with the emotions his music evoked, broke the silence like a gentle ripple across a tranquil pond. It breathes life into the world, weaving stories that dance upon the canvas. His words were an acknowledgement that transcended mere compliments. They were a recognition of the profound connection that had been forming between them, an understanding that their respective crafts were but different threads woven into the same intricate tapestry of existence. His gaze, unwavering and sincere, held hers like a promise of shared dreams and unspoken aspirations. As the sun continued its descent, casting a warm embrace over the village and its occupants, Emma and Liam stood amidst the symphony of colors, their souls laid bare in the hushed exchange of words and glances. The village seemed to hold its breath, as if aware that something magical was transpiring, a bond forged in the space between notes and brushstrokes, a love story woven from melodies and pigments. And as the golden rays of the sun kissed the horizon, leaving streaks of molten orange and lavender in their wake, Emma and Liam found themselves at the heart of their own masterpiece. A masterpiece that wasn't confined to canvas or melody, but was written in the unspoken language of the heart, a language that needed no translation and spoke of a love that would eternally dance to the rhythm of their shared passions. As the days unfolded like pages in a cherished book, Emma and Liam's connection flourished, taking on a life of its own. It was as if the universe had orchestrated their paths to converge, each day adding another layer to the intricate tapestry of their shared existence. Emma's mornings were often spent in the meadows, her heart as wild and untamed as the flowers that surrounded her. The canvas spread before her was a canvas of endless possibilities, each brushstroke a stroke of magic that brought nature's wonders to life. Her fingers danced with the rhythm of her heart, and her paints whispered secrets only she could hear. In these moments, she would often lose herself to time, the hours dissolving into an eternity as she became one with her art. The gentle caress of the breeze against her skin was like a lover's touch, and the rustling leaves carried the echoes of Liam's melodies, an accompaniment to her artistic reverie. Liam, too, found solace in their blossoming connection. His footsteps would often lead him to the meadows, his violin cradled in his arms like a cherished memory. He would stand at a respectful distance, observing Emma's creative dance with the canvas. The strokes of her brush seemed to mirror the symphony he played, and in their harmony, he found a resonance that resonated deep within his soul. He marveled at how her art breathed life into the world around them, her colors capturing not just the physical beauty of nature, but the very essence that made it come alive. The way her brush trailed across the canvas was like the whispered promise of dawn breaking through the night, a promise that everything had a story to tell if one listened closely enough. As Emma painted, her spirit danced with the melodies Liam conjured from his violin. His music was a dialogue of emotions, a mirror to the unspoken yearnings of her heart. The melodies spoke of love, of longing, of dreams reaching beyond the horizon. And with every note that tugged at her heartstrings, her brush seemed to capture the echoes of those emotions, weaving them into the tapestry of her art. In turn, Liam found inspiration in the depths of Emma's eyes, in the way she wielded her brushes with both skill and passion. The spark of creativity that ignited within her ignited a flame within him, too. He would watch as her eyes lit up with the excitement of a new idea, her fingers moving with the grace of a dancer, each stroke a step in a choreography only she could see. And as the sun set, casting its golden glow upon the horizon, Emma would step back from her canvas, her heart racing with the joy of creation. It was then that Liam would approach, his violin now cradled against his chest, its melodies now a soothing lullaby that painted the world in hues of twilight. Their conversations flowed like rivers that had always known each other's course. They spoke of art, of music, of life's mysteries that defied words. They laughed, their laughter mingling with the rustling leaves, and they shared stories as old as the hills that watched over them. Their connection was an unspoken promise, a bond forged not just in shared moments but in the exchange of souls through art and music. With every day that passed, their love story continued to be painted, each stroke of inspiration adding another chapter to the masterpiece they were creating together. And so, Emma and Liam found themselves entwined in a dance that transcended time. A dance that celebrated the union of two souls through colors and melodies. The meadows and the melodies, the brushstrokes and the notes, they were all elements of a grand symphony that told a tale of love in its purest, most creative form. With the passage of time, the canvas of Emma and Liam's connection continued to evolve, each season painting their emotions in shades both vivid and nuanced. As spring's tender breath unfurled the first blossoms, their friendship deepened, its roots sinking into the fertile soil of shared experiences. Their conversations became a cherished ritual, a symposium of dreams and desires that wove the threads of their hearts into a tapestry of mutual understanding. They would wander together through the village's enchanting pathways, their footsteps echoing with laughter and the unspoken language of souls attuned to each other. The village seemed to hold secrets in every cobblestone, every whispering breeze, and every corner painted with sunlight. Amidst the radiant blooms of summer, their connection blossomed like a garden in full bloom. The days seemed longer, as if the sun lingered just a bit longer to witness the bond they were nurturing. Their hearts, once gentle companions, began to throb with a rhythm that was impossible to ignore. One evening, as the sun painted the sky in hues of warm apricot and soft rose, they found themselves nestled on a hill overlooking the village. Emma's head rested against Liam's shoulder, her fingers entwined with his as they watched the stars blink to life like fragments of forgotten dreams. In the hushed twilight, words seemed almost redundant, and their hearts seemed to speak a language all their own. "It's as if every corner of this village holds a piece of magic," Emma mused, her gaze wandering across the clustered houses and the winding paths below. Liam's smile was a reflection of the starlight in his eyes. "And you, my dear Emma, you're the one who brings that magic to life," he said, his voice a melody that harmonized with the gentle chorus of crickets in the distance. As the seasons shifted and autumn's embrace painted the leaves in shades of gold and amber, their bond evolved once again. Their shared moments were like pages of a storybook, each chapter revealing a deeper layer of their connection. A connection that transcended mere friendship, weaving tendrils of affection and longing that could no longer be denied. In the quiet of autumn afternoons, they would find themselves in a hidden corner of the village, a place embraced by the amber glow of falling leaves. Here, Liam would bring his violin to life, the haunting strains echoing the unspoken emotions that had taken residence within their hearts. And Emma, her fingers deftly guiding the brush, would translate those melodies onto her canvas, painting the music's essence with every stroke. Each painting that Emma created held a piece of Liam's music, a fragment of the emotions he stirred within her. The colors on her canvas danced to the rhythm of his melodies, each shade a reflection of the notes that had touched her soul. And in Liam's music, too, echoed the whispers of Emma's artistry, a tribute to the magic she conjured with her brushes and pigments. Winter arrived, its icy fingers painting the world in monochromatic hues. But within Emma and Liam's hearts, the fire of their connection burned brighter than ever. The village, blanketed in snow, seemed to hold its breath in anticipation of the love story that was unfolding amidst its streets and gardens. On a particularly frosty morning, as snowflakes danced lazily from the sky, Emma and Liam found themselves beneath the shelter of a snow-laden oak tree. Liam's violin sang a melody that spoke of warmth and comfort, a melody that wrapped around them like a cozy blanket. Emma's eyes sparkled like the snow crystals around them, her fingers finding Liam's as they shared a fleeting, tender touch. "Each season, our feelings deepen, like layers added to a painting," Liam whispered, his breath visible in the frigid air. "And I can't help but feel that you're the palette that colors my world." Emma's smile was a testament to the love that had flourished between them. "And you," she said, her voice carrying the weight of every emotion they had shared, "you're the music that makes my heart dance, the melody that turns my thoughts into art." In that crystalline moment, as winter held the world in a frozen embrace, Emma and Liam found themselves surrounded by the culmination of their connection, a love story painted across the seasons, composed in melodies and brushstrokes. Their bond was no longer just a whispered secret shared in the wind. It was a tapestry woven with threads of shared dreams, fears, and a love that defied the boundaries of time and art. As the symphony of their love played on, the crescendo of their emotions was accompanied by the undertones of challenges that arose with their deepening bond. Like a river flowing over stones, Their connection navigated through obstacles that tested the strength of their love and the resilience of their individual dreams. Liam's longing to share his music with the world was a melody that had echoed within him for years. His violin had become an extension of his heart, its strings echoing his deepest desires and loftiest aspirations. With every haunting melody he played, he yearned to reach audiences beyond the familiar borders of Elysia, to let his music stir souls in distant cities and hidden villages. And as he confided this dream to Emma, the light in her eyes remained, but it was mingled with a shadow of hesitation. She feared that the authenticity she poured into her art would dissipate in the face of public scrutiny. The meadows, where she had painted with a sense of solitude and intimacy, might transform into a stage where her vulnerability was exposed to the world's gaze. The very act of sharing her art with the masses felt like releasing a part of herself that was meant to remain cherished and hidden. Their bond, once a refuge from the complexities of life, now bore witness to the intertwining of their dreams and fears. It was in the midst of this delicate balance that the prospect of separation cast its shadow. The idea of embarking on individual paths, each chasing their respective dreams, was a concept that seemed to challenge the harmony they had built. One evening, as the village was bathed in the soft glow of twilight, Liam shared his yearning to perform beyond the village's boundaries. Emma listened with a mixture of pride and apprehension, her heart wrestling with the conflicting emotions that tugged at its strings. "I want to share my music with the world," Liam confessed, his voice a blend of determination and vulnerability. "But I fear the distance it might create between us." Emma's gaze, as if a canvas on which emotions were painted, was a mirror of the conflict within her. "And I want to hold onto the intimacy of my art, to keep it safe from the world's judgment," she admitted, her voice carrying the weight of vulnerability. In that shared moment of honesty, their bond was laid bare, a tapestry woven with threads of love, dreams, and the hesitations that danced on the edges of their desires. The shadow of separation was a presence that couldn't be ignored, a whisper that reminded them of the distances that might grow between them. But love, like the most delicate brushstroke, had the power to transform challenges into opportunities. As they looked into each other's eyes, a silent understanding passed between them, like a secret whispered only for them to hear. Their dreams might pull them in different directions, but their hearts would forever remain entwined. With a promise to support each other's aspirations, they embarked on their individual journeys, their bond stronger than ever, fortified by the trials they faced together. Liam's music reverberated far beyond Elysia, touching hearts across distant lands, while Emma's art graced galleries with its vibrant hues and evocative stories. In the midst of their pursuits, their connection remained an anchor, a reminder of the love they shared and the dreams they nurtured. Every note Liam played held a fragment of Emma's artistry, and every canvas she painted carried the echoes of his melodies. Their love story, though marked by challenges, was a testament to the beauty of supporting each other's growth, of finding a way to bridge the gaps that life's journey might introduce. As the days turned into seasons, their bond remained unbreakable, their love story painted with the hues of sacrifice, dedication, and a shared passion for their crafts. And as they continued to chase their dreams, they did so with the knowledge that their love had the power to conquer distances, their melodies and brushstrokes forever intertwined in the canvas of their lives. Under the tender embrace of the moon's soft glow, the village of Elysia seemed to transform into a dreamscape bathed in silvery luminescence. It was an evening of quiet enchantment, when the stars blinked like diamonds against the velvet sky, and the air held the fragrance of blooming night flowers. And in the midst of this ethereal setting, a solitary figure stood beneath the ancient willow tree, violin cradled against his heart. Liam, his eyes reflecting the silvery moonlight, felt the weight of his emotions press upon his chest. It was as if the moon herself was a silent confidant, ready to listen to the melodies that spoke of his heartache and longing. His fingers danced across the strings of his violin, conjuring notes that resonated with the depths of his soul. The melody that emerged was a symphony of pain and yearning, each note a teardrop woven into sound. It was as if his very heartstrings were vibrating, the music a testament to the emotions that words could never capture. The moon seemed to shiver with the echoes of his melody, as if joining in his lament. In the quiet of the night, Emma, too, felt the vibrations of Liam's music. The haunting notes seemed to seep through the very air, touching the strings of her own heart. She stood on the threshold of her cottage, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears, her soul stirred by a resonance that defied explanation. Her connection with Liam was like an invisible thread that stretched across the village, connecting their hearts even in their moments of solitude. With a sense of urgency, she followed the sound, her steps light and unhurried as if guided by an otherworldly force. Her hair, touched by the moonlight, shimmered like spun silver, and her breath hung in the air like a whisper. The path before her was illuminated by the glow of the stars, leading her to the source of the haunting melody. And there, beneath the willow tree, she found Liam. His eyes, a tapestry of emotions that flickered like candle flames, met hers as if he had been expecting her all along. The moonlight painted his form in shades of silver and shadows, his fingers still coaxing the aching notes from his violin. As she approached, her steps a silent dance on the grass, the melody wrapped around her like a gentle embrace. The notes seemed to echo her own heartache, as if Liam's music had become a mirror to the pain she had felt but never expressed. Tears glistened in her eyes, reflecting the moon's radiance, as the music touched the deepest corners of her soul. Liam's fingers faltered, the melody fading into the night as he lowered his violin. Their gazes locked, and in that moment, there was no need for words. The emotions that had been hidden, the pain that had been carried in silence, were now laid bare between them. It was a connection that transcended speech, a language of shared melodies and unspoken understanding. As Emma stood before him, her heart open like a book, Liam felt a surge of emotion that mingled with the moonlight around them. With a tenderness that flowed like the gentlest river, he stepped closer, his hand reaching out to brush away the tear that had escaped her eye. It was a touch that held the weight of their unspoken connection, a touch that whispered promises of solace and support. "I felt your pain," Emma whispered, her voice soft like a moonbeam's caress. "Your melody spoke to me, Liam." He nodded, his eyes reflecting gratitude and vulnerability. Sometimes, the music knows the words we can't find. In the sacred silence of that moonlit night, they stood as kindred souls, their hearts resonating with the melodies of each other's pain and longing. The moon, the stars, the night itself, all bore witness to their unbreakable bond, a connection woven with the threads of music and emotion. And as the night continued to unfold its mysteries, they remained beneath the willow tree, their hearts entwined like the branches overhead. Liam's violin lay beside them, its strings still vibrating with the echoes of his heartache. Emma's tears, now dried, shimmered like stardust on her cheeks. Their souls had danced to the same melody, and in that shared pain, they found a deeper understanding of the love that had been silently blooming between them. As the moon's tender glow continued to bathe the scene in its soft radiance, Emma and Liam stood beneath the ancient willow tree, their hearts intertwined by the melody that had woven its way through the night. The air was heavy with the unspoken emotions that had come to the surface, and the weight of their connection seemed almost tangible. With a gentle sigh, Emma broke the silence that had enveloped them, her voice like a whisper carried on the night breeze. "Liam, our love is like a symphony, composed of the delicate harmony between your music and my art." Her words hung in the air like a lingering echo, resonating with the emotions that had been exchanged between them. Liam's eyes, now a reflection of the moon's glow, held hers with a mixture of understanding and yearning. It was as if the universe itself had conspired to bring them to this moment, where their souls spoke a language that transcended the boundaries of mere conversation. Emma's voice, soft like the rustle of leaves in the wind, held a depth that belied its gentleness. "Let our creations be a testament to our love, even if the world may hear or see them." Her words carried a profound truth, a recognition that their artistry held within it the essence of their connection. The music Liam played and the paintings Emma created were more than just individual expressions. They were the melodies and brushstrokes of a love that was both unique and universal. Liam's fingers brushed against the cool grass beneath them, his heart pounding with the weight of the moment. He had feared that sharing his music with the world would create a distance between them, but Emma's words had cast a new light upon their love, a light that illuminated a path forward, where their passions and dreams could be woven together rather than apart. He reached out and gently took Emma's hand, his touch a testament to the unbreakable bond they had forged. "Emma, you've shown me that our love isn't confined to the village, nor is it limited by the boundaries we once feared," he said, his voice a mixture of vulnerability and determination. Her eyes sparkled with unshed tears, mirroring the stars that adorned the night sky. "And you've shown me that our creations, no matter how far they travel, will carry the echoes of our connection." Their fingers intertwined, a visual representation of the union their hearts had already embraced. In that moment, beneath the moon's gentle gaze, they found solace in the knowledge that their love was stronger than any challenge life might present. As they stood there, a delicate breeze rustled the willow's leaves, the sound like a quiet affirmation of their shared decision. Their love story was no longer confined to the shadows and secret melodies. It was ready to step into the light, to share its melodies and colors with the world beyond. And so, as the moon continued its journey across the night sky, Liam and Emma stood as a testament to the power of love and creativity. The moonbeams and stardust seemed to dance around them, as if celebrating the journey they had undertaken together. Their love was a symphony of melodies and brushstrokes, a masterpiece painted across the canvas of their lives, destined to inspire others to find the beauty in their own harmonies. In the wake of their moonlit exchange, Liam found his heart infused with a newfound clarity. Emma's words had been like a key that unlocked the door to a realm of possibilities he had only dreamed of. The fear that had once held him back now seemed insignificant in the face of the love that bound him to Emma and the melodies that flowed from his soul. As days turned into weeks, he immersed himself in his music with a renewed passion. The village that had once contained his melodies was now a springboard to a broader stage. The streets and meadows that had witnessed his artistry were now part of a narrative he was eager to share with the world. And so, with each note he played on his violin, he poured his heart into the melodies, weaving his love for Emma into every arrangement. His music became a bridge that spanned the gap between his village and the rest of the world, carrying the emotions and stories that had been nurtured in the cocoon of their connection. One evening, as the sun set in a blaze of oranges and pinks, the village square transformed into a magical stage. The townspeople gathered, their anticipation palpable in the air, as Liam stood at the center, his violin poised against his shoulder. With a deep breath that carried the weight of his emotions, he began to play. The music that spilled forth was a symphony of love, a tapestry woven with threads of longing, hope, and the indomitable spirit that had brought him to this moment. Each note he played was like a whispered promise to Emma, an affirmation of the courage they had found together. As his melodies danced on the breeze, the village seemed to come alive, its cobblestone paths and quaint houses harmonizing with the music. The air itself seemed to vibrate with the power of his emotions, and the audience was enraptured by the melodies that painted a vivid picture of love's journey. Meanwhile, Emma's heart swelled with pride and love as she watched Liam perform. Her fingers itched with the desire to capture the essence of this moment on her canvas, to forever immortalize the emotion that danced in the air. His music had transcended the boundaries of their village, becoming a beacon of their connection that reached hearts far beyond the hills that surrounded them. And as the final notes hung in the air, the village square erupted in applause, a symphony of its own that celebrated not just the performance, but the love that had driven it. Liam's eyes, like pools of gratitude and accomplishment, met Emma's, and in that shared gaze, they knew that their love had taken flight, soaring beyond the confines of their initial fears. But Emma, too, had embarked on her own journey of sharing. Her paintings, once cherished in the solitude of her studio, now graced the walls of galleries in faraway cities. The scenes she captured, infused with the magic of Elysia and the palette of her emotions, breathed life into the hearts of those who gazed upon them. Her artistry became a conversation between her soul and the world, a testament to the authenticity and depth she had feared losing. The vulnerability that once held her back was now the very essence that drew people in, allowing them to connect with her stories, her dreams, and the love that flowed through every brushstroke. With Liam's music and Emma's artistry, they became ambassadors of their connection. The melodies and colors they shared with the world were a reflection of their love story, two souls entwined, two passions intertwining, creating a symphony that transcended words. And as they continued to share their creations with the world, they also continued to share their love, authentic, powerful, and unconfined by fear. Their journey had evolved from a whisper beneath the moon to a vibrant crescendo that resonated across distances, reminding everyone who witnessed it that love and creativity were forces that could bridge even the widest gaps. As their creations found their way into the world, they became more than just art and music. They became vessels of emotion, carriers of a love story that defied boundaries and resonated with hearts far and wide. Liam's melodies and Emma's paintings, distinct yet harmonious, spoke a universal language that touched souls in ways neither of them could have imagined. In galleries filled with hushed reverence, Emma's paintings hung like windows to another world. Each canvas told a story, of rolling hills, cascading waterfalls, and vibrant gardens, but beyond the landscapes, they whispered the tale of a love that had blossomed in the quiet corners of their village. The authenticity of her art spoke to those who gazed upon it, inviting them to connect not just with the colors and strokes, but with the emotions that infused every inch of the canvas. And in concert halls and open-air gatherings, Liam's music reverberated like a heartbeat, carrying the echoes of love and longing. Each note he played was a chapter in their love story, a melody that encapsulated the journey they had embarked upon. The haunting strains spoke of hope, of heartache, and of the courage to share something deeply personal with the world. Those who listened were transported, not just by the music itself, but by the emotion that it carried, the emotion of two souls intertwined by fate and creativity. Their love story became a tapestry woven with threads of melody and color, a narrative that unfolded in galleries, concert halls, and the hearts of those who experienced it. As people from distant places encountered their art and music, they found themselves drawn into a world where love was a force that could be seen and heard, where creativity and passion collided to create something truly magical. In cafes and quiet corners, conversations were sparked by their creations. Strangers would meet and connect over the shared experience of gazing at Emma's paintings, feeling the stories they told resonate within their own lives. Friends would gather to listen to Liam's melodies, finding solace and inspiration in the way his music gave voice to emotions they hadn't yet found words for. As the years rolled on, their love story became a legend of its own, whispered among artists, musicians, and dreamers. Their village, once a hidden gem, now became a destination for those seeking to immerse themselves in the world that had nurtured such a love. And in the meadows where their journey began, couples would find themselves strolling hand in hand, feeling the echoes of Emma and Liam's connection in every rustling leaf and every gentle breeze. Through their creations, Emma and Liam had achieved something extraordinary. They had given form to the intangible, painted the invisible, and composed the inaudible. Their love story had become a living work of art, a symphony of emotions that transcended time, space, and language. And as they walked through life, their hands still entwined, they knew that their love was a masterpiece that would continue to evolve, its colors and melodies shifting with every season, every experience, and every shared moment. Their love had been etched onto the canvas of life, a testament to the power of creativity, connection, and the beauty that could be found in the quietest corners of the world. As the years flowed like the gentle current of a river, Emma and Liam's love story stood strong against the currents of time. Their bond, forged in the fires of shared dreams and weathered by the challenges they had overcome, was a melody that refused to fade, a painting that retained its vibrancy despite the passage of seasons. Their connection had become a timeless symphony, an orchestration of emotions that continued to resonate across the years. The village, once their sanctuary, had transformed into a haven for seekers of love and inspiration. Travelers came from far and wide, drawn by the whispers of a legendary love that had blossomed between the hills and waterfalls. In the heart of Elysia, the ancient willow tree beneath which they had shared secrets and melodies still stood, a silent sentinel to their enduring connection. Locals would share their tale with hushed reverence, passing down the legacy of Emma and Liam's love from one generation to the next. The village square, where Liam had first shared his music with the world, now bore a plaque in their honor, a tribute to the couple who had reminded the world that love could be a powerful muse. Their journey had become an inspiration, not just for lovers, but for all who sought beauty and meaning in the world around them. The meadows that had witnessed their connection became a symbol of the magic that could be found in even the simplest of places. Couples would come to those very meadows to propose, believing that the essence of Emma and Liam's love still lingered in the air. And as the village grew and changed, Emma and Liam remained its heart, a testament to the enduring power of love's embrace. Their connection had become an anchor for the village, a reminder that even amidst the chaos and challenges of life, there existed a love that could weather any storm. Every year, on the anniversary of that moonlit night when their bond had deepened beneath the willow tree, the villagers would gather for a celebration. Musicians would play Liam's melodies, and artists would showcase their work inspired by Emma's paintings. It was a day when the village was painted in hues of joy and gratitude, a day that honored the love that had become its legend. Emma and Liam, their hair now threaded with silver, would stand hand in hand, their love still as vibrant as the memories they had woven together. Their eyes would meet, a silent exchange that spoke of a journey that had surpassed their wildest dreams. The passage of time had only deepened their connection, their love like a fine wine that grew richer with every passing year. And as the sun set on each anniversary celebration, casting the village in shades of gold and rose, their love story would once again come to life. The music would play, the paintings would shine, and their souls would dance to a melody that would forever remain unwritten but understood. A melody that spoke of a love that had transcended the boundaries of time and space. A melody that whispered the eternal serenade of their hearts.